fluctuation in the annuity contribution?
So if I change the formula from 80% of salary to 100%, that funding changes automatically.
Correct. Yes. And that was one kind of what we were talking about with Ralph and Jim. If you have a plan that's overfunded, we can increase that benefit formula.
Right.
And so, yeah, maybe you're at 80%, we can bump it up to 100. And now your goals and your needs and the, excuse me.
Deduction side.
Right.
Jonathan, do you like him? Do you like this?
This?
Yeah.
Yeah. You like it?
Yeah, I like it. I'm saying that this is something that is gonna be happening in the States. Is it happening now a lot?
Oh, yeah, no, again, these have been around for, a century.
But people are using it, what was the trend? I'm sorry, that was a trend.
Oh, is it a trend? Yes.
Are they using them or
The
not?
thing about defined benefit plans, and another reason why you're seeing so many more of them these days, is you have a lot of baby boomers that are leaving careers, and now they're going to work for themselves. They're like, okay, I'm gonna go and be a consultant. I'm gonna work half the time and make twice the money. And their taxes are, because they're a sole proprietor.
You gotta give me one of those guys.
We use,
Hey, 1-800, no, I'm kidding.
In Puerto Rico, we use cash balance plans, a profit sharing and a cash balance plans for some clients that are high
Yeah.
earners. We do that.
Yeah, and it's funny because you kind of alluded to it earlier, but dentist offices and doctors and law firms, they love these things.
Yep.
Because, you're talking about not just one or two high wage earners, you might have 4 partners, or in a law firm, a dozen partners. I've designed a plan where the contribution was $400,000 annually. A $400,000 contribution, assume a 50% tax bracket, you just saved your client $200,000 in taxes. But where did that money go? I mean, they just took 400 grand out of this pocket, and they put the 400 grand in this pocket. That's all they did. And I gave them $200,000 in tax deductions. If you can find your small business owner these kind of tax deductions, they're gonna fire their CPA. I'm kidding, they're not gonna fire their CPA. But my point is,
Money.
yeah, you find these types of tax deductions for a small business owner, they think you walk on water.
Another key aspect here, I don't know if you've emphasized this already or not,
Go ahead.
but that these life premiums, these are tax deductible premiums that
Yeah,
are
that's my
being,
next- yeah.
that are being used to fund this death benefit. So the only way you can really have that available to you is through this type of vehicle.
Exactly what Dom's talking about. I mean, this is my favorite part. I got a headline for you. Are you watching the news? Are you ready? Life insurance is on sale inside qualified plans. Word on.
That wasn't the reaction we were expecting to get.
Seriously, life insurance is on sale inside a qualified plan for exactly what Dom just said.
One of the objections you can get from CPAs too is that they think that death benefit is taxable inside that pension plan. It's not.
As Jim said, it's not. We have to educate every party involved. When we have conference calls, when Dom does it or when I do it, they say, okay, I want to bring the CPA on the call. Fine. We want to make the sale as bad as you do. And that's actually another thing. Our names do not go on the application. Dominic and I do not make commission. These are your clients. We will take your client's hand. We will walk them through the entire process. We will make the sale for you. We do not make a dime. We do not make any commission. These are your clients. We're just here to help you make the sale. We are here for you. And we're free.
Use us.
So life insurance is on sale inside of a qualified plan. Why do I say life insurance is on sale inside a qualified plan? As Dominic said, you're buying life insurance inside a qualified plan. That premium payment is a tax deduction. If you're in a 40% tax bracket, life insurance is on sale. There is some tax to be paid. The economic benefit tax used to be called the PS 58 cost. Basically what happens is we will tax you every year on the equivalent of 1 year of term. True story. There is a famous singer out in California. She was rated table 14, the last table that we offered. She looked at the life premium and she tore up the paperwork. There was no way she was going to pay that for life insurance. We showed her a 412 plan. She got to write off the premium. Guess who made the sale? Guess who went to conference? guess who got a fat commission? Right? If your client's rated and they don't like that premium, put the premium in a qualified plan. Get the tax deduction. Now, if your client becomes uninsurable, that life insurance is worth gold. If not, there are ways at the end of the plan to either keep the life insurance or surrender for its cash surrender value. And we discuss that with your client when we design the plans. But these plans are powerful. Most people could not afford to max fund these plans because we are talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. These plans are very powerful. So in this scenario, the client is getting over 90%. And we understand that when we design these plans, we're trying to sell the client. If we can't sell the business owner, we're not going to get a sale. So we do design these plans to push most of it, or as much as possible, to the owner.
We wanna help you sell it.
And, you know, as Jim mentioned earlier, we will encourage them to bring the spouse or the child on the payroll,
Yes.
if it will help sell the plan. All right, so most defined benefit plans do not include life insurance. They are strictly an annuity play, and the life insurance is ancillary. Because people think, well, okay, if I have a defined benefit plan, I'm gonna put $100,000 of contribution into this defined benefit plan. But I wanna add 50,000 of life commission. Well, that means my contribution is 150, right? You're just adding the premium onto the plan. No, that is not the case. Let's take a look here. Annuity only is 180,000. Here, we're gonna give $2 million of death benefit. What's the difference in cost?
About $8,000.
Here's the split.
Go back real quick, John.
Yeah.
Because one thing I want to point out though is it doesn't matter how this plan is funded, all annuity, or if it's split funded, the benefits at retirement stay the same. So what that participant or that individual receives when they retire is going to be equivalent, no matter if they split fund the plan or fund it all annuity. So you can see the difference though, the benefit by paying that additional $8,000 is powerful. I mean, it's not only just that additional tax deduction, $8,000 is kind of insignificant, but it's $2 million in death benefit that this plan on the left side produces.
So this is a combination of part insurance premium, part annuity deposit that gives you the 187,000?
Correct.
But the insurance premium is, it's higher than that, or is?
So there's your insurance premium right here. So what happens is, if it's annuity only, the plan's cost is 180. I'm rounding here, please. So if you were to do annuity only, you're looking at $180,000 annual contribution. If we add life insurance, we're gonna add $2 million of death benefit, the $50,000 premium. But look what we did to the annuity contribution. The annuity contribution is lowered to allow the life insurance inside the plan because we still have to stay within the benefit limits. So now the contribution annually is only 187, but you're getting $2 million of death benefit.
So the 412I doesn't limit you to the percentage of the premium deductible, you can deduct the full premium of the whole life fund, right?
Yes.
Yes,
100%.
you get the economic benefit tax at the end, but yes. So here's a couple of things. Why do people not put life insurance in a defined benefit plan? Does this not make sense? Do you not want commission on 50,000 of premium? You better be raising both hands, right?
We almost did.
Yeah, a quick question.
Yes.
Can you review the taxation of the plans, what they're gonna start receiving the money, how much is taxed, how much
On the
is,
distribution?
Sure.
Yeah.
So the question is, what's taxable here? And the thing about defined benefit plans is 100% of the money is tax deductible up front, which means 100% of the money is taxable on the back.
Okay, ordinary income.
Ordinary income levels.
Correct.
Correct. Thank you. So why don't we sell more of these? Why are people not putting life insurance inside a defined benefit plan?
CPA is not like.
And the answer is because you're looking at it wrong. You're thinking, okay, this is a life sale. I'm trying to make a life sale. That's not what we're doing here. We're trying to make a qualified plan sale. If you just sold your client on a $180,000 annual contribution into a defined benefit plan, you've made the sale,
Yeah.
right? Mrs. Client, how about we put $2 million of life insurance in there, let the company pay for it, and we're only gonna increase it by another $5,000 or $6,000. When you're paying 180, what's $5,000 or $6,000? Right? Again, do you not want that commission? Now in year 2, if you pass away, that life insurance,
Self-completes.
thank you, self-completes the plan. Yes, sir.
Does the annuity deposits, is there any trail compensation for the advisors? Or is it all upfront commission from the deposits each year that they make?
That I'm gonna go to this gentleman right here, Ron.
What was the
Say that
question?
again.
He's asking commission questions.
Is there trail commissions for that specific annuity we're using examples of 412I?
I don't know, I'd have to look it up.
So, okay, well, all right, so the commission on the life insurance is, you know,
Upfront and winter?
It's the same as it would be.
No, it's the same as your.
yeah, it's the same as
The
regular.
bulk upfront and some renewal.
And the annuity pays a commission on every single deposit for the life of the plan.
Right,
So
so
every
this-
year, when they're putting in that 130, you're getting a commission on
We
that
don't need
130.
trails.
Yeah, but it
Yeah,
would be nice.
no, it's better than trails.
Yeah, but it would be nice if you get a trail, you know, if
It's-
you establish a large book of business and annuities.
Well, no, you're getting the commission. Every year, you get the same commission on the annuity.
Anyway.
On this
And you
annuity,
get the same commission as you do a life insurance policy.
yeah.
So the life has a trail, I
So
assume.
this
So-
is,
I'm sorry.
it has a renewal and a service fee.
Right on.
So the death benefit is taxable at death?
No.
At death,
Okay.
the beneficiary will receive the death benefit, but they'll be taxed on the portion above the cash value of that.
Right, so wait, this is a very important question that Eduardo's asking. Is the death benefit taxable upon distribution? If your client were to pass, then the answer is no. You're paying that economic benefit, that PS 58 cost, right, that, for the term policy.
Right.
You're paying that to keep the tax favored status of the life insurance. So in this case, it's a $2 million death benefit. Let's just say hypothetically, the client passes and there's $100,000 of cash value in the plan, in the insurance policy. You get the 2 million minus the 100. You get 1.9 million tax free.
Tax free. The cash
Tax-free.
value, you will pay tax. You will
You
pay
know,
tax.
99.99% of the agents that sell it don't tell that.
They don't get
Well, the
Well-
plan is gonna give that, the plan is gonna pay that to the wife.
Actually, you're right. So that, yeah, the logistics of it is, you're right. The death benefit check goes to the plan and then the plan has to give it to the beneficiary.
Let it out.
So you're right, there is a middleman there, but yes. So, but you're right. People do not sell these plans correctly.
No.
This is not a life insurance sale. You're selling a defined benefit plan, and now you're just gonna sweeten the pot, right? I mean, again, why don't you want the commission on that life policy? Yes, sir.
Because he wants a trail, so I'll keep the commission. I'll work on a
You're going on every appointment now.
Never underestimate the
Talking
power of
about
trail.
talking about the annuity, you say you get commission every year as the money goes in now. So we're talking about the annuity from the beginning, will be the same annuity, the money goes into that same annuity, or there's one
Flexible.
done every year?
Great question. Are we opening a new annuity contract every year?
No.
The answer is no.
That was
Okay,
It
then
is-
how
it
do
is-
we get commission?
New contribution.
Because we like you.
No contributions, no
Each contribution carries a new commission.
Right.
Right.
And all of
In
these.
certain years.
No,
No,
in
perpetuity.
In perpetuity. So every dollar we've shown you,
That's good.
it doesn't matter if these dollars are going in year 1 or year 10 or year 15. When those contributions go into the retirement plan, no matter which one it is, that's a commissionable event for you
Yes.
as an agent.
In all annuities, Vasquez.
All right, so now, something else, just because, you know, every now and then something pops in my head.
Hold on, John.
Okay.
Ralph has a question.
Yeah.
You're showing this is the 412 or is this any DB plan?
This is
Great
what-
question. This is applicable to any plan. In this particular instance, I'm showing you a 412.
So would the ratios be similar if this were a DB plan?
Yes.
John, back up to the
That's a
DB
good
plan though.
question.
And Ralph, I want you to keep that $50,000 premium in mind, whenever you're talking about the traditional DB plan.
Here
See
in
this
the
flexibility?
beginning.
Right here, right here.
Oh,
This
yeah.
flexibility that we're discussing, you know, with the traditional DB, you have that window to funding. Well, remember, those benefits at retirement have already been determined.
Right.
You add life insurance to it, those benefits can't change. So what ends up happening though, is that $50,000 premium, instead of it kind of supplementing like it does in that 412E plan, and it only costs you a little bit more, what it does is it's a required contribution, because you have to keep that policy in force. So that minimum in year 1 isn't really $54,000, it's $104,000. And that stays applicable throughout the course of the plan's existence.
Yes.
So it kind of narrows that gap a little
But
bit.
if you had one going and you already had it
Signature on that.
funded,
Yeah.
and then added the life insurance after
You
the
can use
fact,
existing cash.
then you can soak up some of that.
And that's what I need to look at.
So, in that example there, well, what life products are available?
Okay, so Ralph's next question was, what life product can we use inside this plan?
Like,
Can we use it?
So we use whole life insurance because the government has an archaic law in there about life insurance inside a qualified plan. It's called the incidental rule. What the law says is the life insurance has to be incidental to the plan, meaning the plan cannot be the life insurance. So it dictates how much life insurance is allowed inside the plan, and it is discriminatory. If it is whole life insurance, the answer is half. That's a rule of thumb. The answer is half. Anything other than whole life insurance, the answer is a quarter. So it's not advantageous.
25%.
First of all, the second big thing here is we have a whole life policy that is specifically designed for our qualified plans. There is no surrender schedule. And the problem is if you have to pay a surrender on that life policy, you're violating the policy. You're violating the plan.
So what kind of target is gonna be at the
It's a 10 pay. I'd have to look at
Oh,
it.
it's always.
10 pay or 65.
Jonathan,
Yes, yes.
we just agreed right now in the past 5 seconds that if American National and Ron Price and you guys would approve this in Puerto Rico,
Through us.
through us, that's gonna be a game changer for you guys.
we guarantee half
We
a
do a
million,
lot of
$500
pensions.
million of
You
A
know,
lot of
there's
pensions.
some songs written entitled Dreams.
Like feel it?
So, you know, our tax laws are not that different. It shouldn't be that hard. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, and it goes to Ralph's question. Assuming this is a regular DB,
Yes.
could we use your document in Puerto Rico
No.
at this point?
I mean, see, the problem is not the document. The problem is the distribution.
If we can get you document, if we can get you documents in place, you know, from TPAs that have been doing this for 30 years,
Right.
approved by all the regulations.
Right.
DB, on a DB basis, will you allow us to use the product, the pension
I mean,
product?
if I had my say,
Yes.
yes.
The life that our limited pay whole life product is approved in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So the answer is yes on that side.
Okay.
I mean, unfortunately, there's a bunch of barriers there, and until we try, I don't know. And the other problem is, I don't think we won't sell our
It's
documents.
very simple because regulations that we were into effect in 2011 kind of bring almost everything that is in US laws, aggregation rules, the 25%, the same deductions are the same. The only differences are that we have an exemption of the first 15,000 you receive on benefits.
Right. Yours is on the back end.
An
That's
exempt,
different.
Right,
Yeah.
an exempt. And, but beyond that is, and on DB, is basically the same.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, unfortunately,
Mr. Luis, honestly, you know, if we had our say, of course, we'd be more than willing. But
Whom do I have to invite to a cruise in the Caribbean?
we'll put you in contact with me.
Alright, so again, I mean, the key thing here is you don't look at this as a life insurance sale. You're selling a qualified plan. Once you sold the qualified plan, this should be automatic. You should be adding the life insurance into the plan. Now, we created an entirely new life product strictly for our qualified plans. It is called a limited pay whole life. It is pay to 65 or it's a 10 pay, whichever is more. So basically, if your client is 55 or older, it's a 10 pay product. If your client's younger, it's pay to 65. It's a brand new product. It is only available inside qualified plans. But funny enough, once it's inside the qualified plan, you can buy it out of the plan, and now you have it outside the plan. So there is a little workaround there. But it's really, it uses unisex rates, which pretty much are required when you're dealing with larger plans. It is specific to qualified plans. Oh,
Quick question.
please.
Like, let's say one of those clients runs into trouble at year 7 and they have to terminate or freeze, etc.
Yes.
Could you retitle the assets and roll it over to either an IRA or a profit sharing plan and just delay the distribution and taxation to a further event?
So, there's a couple of things in there. So, can you freeze a plan? Yes. Can you terminate a plan? Yes. They are different. If you freeze a plan, the plan still exists, but no one else is accruing benefits, and the contributions shrink almost to nothing. But the plan is still there, and the benefits are still owed. You can't get the money out. It's not a distributable
Freeze.
event. Right, it's frozen, precisely. You have to have a distributable event, which is typically severance of employment or retirement.
What
Or,
about poor economic conditions,
yeah, I mean, you can freeze a plan for whatever reason. The other option is to terminate the plan.
Tax.
If you terminate the plan, you have to distribute all the money.
Yeah.
Now, you can roll to an IRA to avoid the taxes. So then, yes, you can kick the can down the road.
okay.
But a termination, you have to push the money out. Frozen plan, it's still in existence.
Explain what happens if that plan's overfunded and you try to terminate that plan.
If you have an overfunded plan, you are gonna run into a scenario where there might be a taxable issue. So, again, but we don't get our plans overfunded. That's what the plan administrator does, is they watch the
Make
plan
sure, yeah.
and they take care of these types of issues, unless you have a bad plan administrator. And that does happen, yes.
Does your whole life policy, of a kind that will allow me to transfer most of the assets that I have on the side fund account in order to use my current purchase annuity rates and keep my policy in force receiving benefits
So it's talking about distributing the life after the policy,
on retirement?
on retirement.
Yeah, you can. But the thing is, depending on, it's a 10-pay policy, so once you hit 65, there's no more premiums due anyway.
Policy's paid up.
Right, it's a paid-up policy.
Yeah, but that's a question. Would they allow me to transfer money to get the current annuity purchase rates in the policy so I can keep the policy and my benefit at the same time?
No, you'd have to
On termination.
On termination, the cash value is his, John.
Yeah, right, once,
I own everything. I own the cash, I own the policy.
right, once you own the policy, it's yours to do with as you choose.
So so it's a 10-pay policy, it's a limited pay policy.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can, depends if you've taken money out of it, depends, obviously you just don't want to.
Just strictly for retirement.
Yeah, you can reduce the basis and go to loans and all that. Yeah, you can
Okay.
do it as you choose once it's out of the plan.
So I could transfer the policy to me and all my assets to me and everything goes for my retirement under the contract because I wanna keep the death benefit
Correct.
in force. Because
Yes.
I already had it paid off.
Exactly. It's already a paid up policy, why would you not keep it?
Okay, great.
Alright, so the thing about a 412 plan is it is guaranteed. How is it guaranteed? Well, it's guaranteed because we're using guaranteed products inside of it. And the premiums are guaranteed because in order for me to keep my guarantee good. This is called the $1 million sales idea. In this scenario, all we're doing is we created a defined benefit plan. And we said, okay, at retirement, which in this case is age 62, at retirement, I'm gonna hand you $1 million. So the defined benefit plan is set up with funding requirements that at age 62, I'm handing you $1 million. That's your retirement benefit. What I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna buy $1 million life policy inside of it. So if you die, guess what? You get $1 million.
Well,
You know.
Fair. If you live at retirement, you get $1 million. That's what we designed the plan. So, guaranteed $1 million, live or die. Now, this is not etched in stone. This is a sales idea. $500,000, $2 million, $750,000. Not every client's the same. Make it fit your client. They need 500,000 guaranteed live or die, great. They want 2 million guaranteed live or die. Again, this is a sales concept.
Exactly.
Customize it to your client's needs.
It's a marketing idea. Customize it to that particular situation.
All right, so Ralph touched on 199A. Basically, what it is, it's a new tax law. The new tax law says, hey, you get more tax deductions, but you're limited by these AGIs, meaning your income cannot exceed this limit if you're single, or this limit if you're married, and again, it's not for C corps. What happens if your client's making $400,000 a year? Well, this is not for them.
Or if they're a doctor, attorney, architect.
There are stipulations, correct. So, what happens if we create a qualified plan and we give them a $50,000 or $100,000 tax deduction to get them below this limit?
I think that's a good idea.
I think it's a wonderful idea. Thank you. I'm glad I came, aren't you? So this is a way to get under those limits. Because until you're under those limits, Uncle Sam says this is not for you. This is a way to do it. All right. Let's. Somebody's had way too much training. All right. In the folder with the 2 red chairs,
With the beautiful red chairs.
in the back, you're going to find this guy right here.
Where is that?
It's at the very back. This is what we want.
Somewhere in Utah. Actually, I have no earthly idea.
All right, so look, this is what we need. This is available in PDF, so you can email it to your client. You can actually go on our website and fill it out online with your client and just hit submit, and you know we're going to get it. You can email it to us, you can fax it to us, you can snail mail it to us, you can FedEx it. I don't care.
We'll take it out every
Pigeons,
once
I mean, you know, whatever.
Right?
This is it.
I like this energy. I like it.
This is a fact finder. All right, so the first thing we're going to need to know is who we're dealing with, right? And that's on the first page. Then we give them a little section of, you know what? If you have an idea of what you want, on a scale of 1 to 5, what are you looking for? Maximum deduction, employee retaining. What are you after here?
And at the very bottom,
Yeah.
you'll see we have some selection for plan types.
This is all you need. Right here.
Right here.
Check
that-
here,
check that
and we'll
bottom
do the
one
rest.
off. We'll do the rest for you.
Because that's our job. And we enjoy our job. I don't know if you can tell. We enjoy what we do, we really do. So on the next page, if it's a takeover plan, we're gonna need a little bit more information. Lastly, we need a census.
Holy Grail.
This census is gold.
Not only for us, but for you as well.
Once you have this, you know who all the employees are, what their income is, how old they are. You need more prospects? You just got more prospects, right? Now, I use my doctor's analogy. You give this to a client, you say, client, I need you to fill this out, and she says, nah. That's a little too much information. So I use my doctor's analogy. You walk into a doctor's office and you're like, Doc, I do not feel well. You've got to fix it. The first thing that doctor's gonna do, they're gonna cross the room to examine you. Because if they don't examine you, they don't have a red pill and a blue pill. They need to know what's wrong with you before they can fix you. This is my examination. I need to know a little bit about your client before I can propose a solution for them. Once we have this, we'll take it from there. We'll let you be as involved as you want. If you want to make the presentation, you can make the presentation. If you want me to make the presentation, you have my business card. I will make the sale for you. And I don't make any commission. I know, I haven't figured that one out yet. All right. So this is what we need. This is what gets the ball rolling. Remember I told you I was going to challenge you? Do you remember the very first time you filled out a life app? Was that fun?
There was one page.
Right. Hey, out there, no, 3 pages. So you're calling the back office trying to figure out which box to check and what to fill out, right? It was nerve-wracking. And when you were in front of your client, you were nervous. Eventually you got successful. Eventually you bought your first life policy on yourself. So when you went and spoke to your client the next time, you had more conviction. You said, Mrs. Client, I believe in this product because I have one myself. How many of you in this room are small business owners?
Everyone should have their hands up.
Who does not want a tax deduction? Who does not need to save for retirement? Better yet, who doesn't want the commission on the sale? Right? You can tell your clients, Mrs. Client, I not only make the Kool-Aid, I drink it too. I challenge each and every one of you to fill one of these out on yourselves. Submit it to us, unless you live in Puerto Rico. You'll get to see the process, how it works. See the plan, how it works.
Yeah.
Test us out.
what I'm
Take us on a
thinking.
test run. But save for retirement also.
I like it.
And we incentivize you guys to do that.
I like that you guys are making a
Yeah,
a
okay.
theme that is not.
Pushy?
I'm not saying that is boring. I'm saying that pensions to people is not something sexy. And
Right.
and you guys are making it cool.
Thank you.
I like that.
Really good.
That's his fault.
I'm being honest. This is
I can tone it down if you want.
No, that's the way it should be.
That's how we went to college.
Because it should be cool. It's money that you're saving. Is
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Well, I mean, who doesn't, right? I mean, at that point, you know, once it makes sense, why wouldn't you, right?
yeah.
So,
It's more cool if you go to Puerto Rico. It's gonna be more cool.
I'm trying.
Let's
That's
go
why,
to the
that's
beach.
why,
I'll take you to the beach.
Now, we're challenging you,
That-
get the troops in Puerto Rico.
I accept your challenge.
Mr.
All right,
Price is
so,
listening.
at American National, we have an advisor incentive. If you set up your own plan with us, we will waive your setup fee.
Ralph, did you pay us?
I did not.
If you have 3 plans on the books, your plan, 2 more. I'm trying.
Wife, I insist.
If you have 3 plans on the books, we will waive your annual fee. So I know compliance is not in the room, so I will say it. You will have a free plan.
Right, so not only are you saving away for retirement, you're contributing to your own retirement savings, but you are collecting commission on those contributions going into your own plan.
There is an asset-based fee. What I mean is it's a free admin. There's no administration fees for your plan. You get free admin. All right, so how much time do we have?
We're a little over, but I think we can go for another 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, you can do 10.
Sure.
Okay,
10,
so
15.
But I'm hungry, so.
right, so again, if your client does not have a
She's
plan,
eating
you need to talk to them. But if your client does have a plan, do not walk away. Mrs. Client, do you know that by not having a plan, it's costing you money? Why is it costing you money? Because you're not taking advantage of the tax deduction. If you want to look for clients, I am not endorsing these. This is the government anyway. See, now
I'm
you
going
got
to
it.
the second one right here. So if you have an idea that a client may or may not have a retirement plan already in place, you can go to this efas.dol.gov. Every retirement plan is just like a nonprofit.
Oh, to mail.
They have to make a tax filing every single year. It's called a Form 5500.
Yeah, the 55.
This is where those 5500s are housed.
Right, they have to have 1 employee. If it's just an owner-only plan, they won't
Yep.
have one of
It's
these.
not applicable, but they have multiple employees, and you're not sure whether or not there's a plan already in place. If you go into eFAST, there's a search criteria. All you have to do is type in either the business's name, plan name, their EIN number, and it will pull it up for you if there is a plan. If there's no 5500 there, I guarantee you, there's not a plan in place. So we know we're working with a new plan, but if there is a plan, that 5500 gives you a little bit of information. It tells you how many employees are in the plan. It tells you how much the assets in that plan are as well. And it also tells you how long that plan's been in.
It'll give you plan information. All right, so in the 401k plan, it's a traditional defined benefit plan. It's a group variable annuity, but before you kill me, you don't have to have a security license. All you need is your life license, except for New York, Connecticut, and Massachusetts, and Puerto Rico. Yeah, y'all are spoiling it. No, I'm kidding.
Eduardo,
So there's 52 investment choices. And because you don't have a securities license,
I just wanted to talk about the product just for a second.
oh yeah, go ahead.
And Eduardo's earlier question involving a trail. With that particular product, that 1.3 that we use for the 401k plan, traditional DB plan, it's commission for the first 3 years. So every dollar that goes into that plan, into that product, generates a commission for you. So if it's a 401k plan, the employees and the owner are contributing as often as they get paid, maybe weekly, maybe bi-weekly, maybe monthly. Every time a contribution goes in, that's a commissionable event for you. But it does convert to a trail in year 4.
So 37th month.
37th month. So once the assets are built, then it does convert to a trail for you in perpetuity.
How much?
That's Ron's
100
question.
basis points?
What?
100?
No. It's like half that, yes.
Well, we can work with 50. 50
As long as the client's
Yeah,
not
but
in
if
New
it
York,
goes to the
Connecticut,
grid.
Massachusetts.
50, yeah.
And again, with that product, guys, all you need to sell it is a life or annuities license in the state that your client does
It's not
business
even
in.
a security.
Unfortunately, that state right now does not include Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
But-
The 51st state.
51st state.
Alright, so your client's got 52 investment choices, you're not securities licensed, you can't answer investment choices. So we've teamed up with Morningstar. Morningstar will give each person one free asset allocation. Everyone gets one for free. Any client that wants them to sign on as a fiduciary and manage their assets, they will do so for 50 basis points a year, 1/2 of 1%. If you've ever done assets under management, that's not a bad deal. And they will sign on as the fiduciary.
It's a good deal.
You can turn it on and off on a quarterly basis. So 12.5 dips per quarter.
As far as investment choices, you are securities licensed. Do you pick a particular fund manager or fund family so you can go?
We got 52 choices, 6 different investment managers, and you can play. I mean, there's the S&P 500, there's target date funds, there's global real estate, there's technology, there's biotech. I mean, there's literally a bit of everything for everyone.
And we can adjust our administrative role sometimes, so if you have a client that wanna do their own investing, maybe they just wanna use us for certain aspects of it, we can discuss that. But generally speaking, if we're gonna be the administrator, it's take it or leave it. Those are gonna be the platform roles. That's why we're there.
This is our website. Everything we've talked about today is on our website. If you want to watch another presentation like this one because you can't fall asleep, it's on there. If you need literature, it's on there. If you want pre-approved ads, they're on there. Everything is on our website. This is our team.
Bob Klein,
Bob Klein.
Andy McElhannon,
Yep.
Jonathan Adamic.
Yeah, I'm a logo on the telephone pole.
He's the FNG. He's the new
Yeah.
I
guy.
have a question. What is a QKA?
Qualified Pension Administrator.
No, QKA is qualified 401k administrator.
Yeah, but just to recap real quick, guys, just that sales process, really to initiate the process, all we need is this guy. All we need is this fact find. This will kind of steer us in the direction of what plan is the best recommendation or most suitable for your particular client. Once we get this, then we go and we draft and create those proposals and illustrations and put those in your hands to present to your client. Are you by yourself? No, not at all. We'll be as involved in the facilitation of that sale as you guys allow us to be. We can coach you up, you can go do the presentation yourself, or you can bring us into that conversation as well, however you want to handle that sales process. But once that client is on the hook, so to speak, then that's when our administration department kind of takes over. We kind of carry the heavy bag. The only part that you're kind of going to be involved in is presenting that information, that plan, to the employees. Why we want you to do that? One, you're going to be the face of that plan. So to benefit you guys, if there is any type of financial need outside of just the retirement plan, who do you think those employees are going to go to? They're going to go to the guy who set up their 401k plan for them. So we want you to be that guy.
You guys in home office?
We're home office.
Yeah, we're home
Right.
office.
But as far as the administration of that plan goes, we free you up. You're able to go out there and hook another fish if you want.
And how's your Spanish?
Muy poquito. All right, so Dominic Etienne, Jonathan